Hey, do you know what your investor avatar is? Well, if you don't, this video is going to help you. And hopefully you're able to take this information that you learn on how to identify with your investor avatar and apply it to what type of investing you want to do, whether it's passive investing or active investing. Now, before I get into this, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. We want you to subscribe to our YouTube page. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so very much. Make sure that your notification bell is on. So let's get back to how to identify with your investor avatar. So I'll start with explaining to you what an avatar is and how an avatar is different from what we in small business call a perfect client profile. So I kind of broke this down just to give you some explanation. So as an entrepreneur, a small business owner, we sell products, we offer services. Well, from a marketing perspective, we got to make sure that our message, that our communication, that our approach to lead generation is directed towards what we call a PCP, or a perfect customer or perfect client profile. In other words, we don't want to just market to people and communicate to people who don't even fit the profile of a person who will actually do business with us. So the PCP, or perfect customer, perfect client profile, describes the type of person or people I want to do business with. I want to sell them products and services, and I know exactly who they are, and I target them. Well, on the flip side of the coin, we have avatars. So in business, you have avatars. In real estate investing, you have avatars. Either way, the avatar for the business owner or the investor is your persona. So if you're an entrepreneur, you're a small business owner, or if you're also a real estate investor and you do it all, you have an avatar. You are an avatar. As a business owner and or an investor, you have a certain persona. You have a certain role that's perfect for you. It's just like any small business owner. You may be good here, but you're horrible there. Well, if you're good here, then that's a part of your persona or your perfect role. And when you dial in on that, it just makes what you do better so that you can be more clear about what your avatar is. So the question that I posed in the beginning of this video is, what's your investor avatar? Okay, how do you identify with your investor avatar? Well, the way I show people in my community how to identify with their investor avatar is, we take the 5-point process that we use to structure real estate investment deals from entry to exit. And that 5-point process gives us a context, okay? It gives us somewhat of an outline so that we can start dialing in on what part of this 5-point process best fits what I love to do, what I'm good at doing, so that I can start shaping that into my persona, my perfect role, or in other words, I can start shaping that into my avatar. So this is our 5-point process. It's finding deals, forming deals, funding deals, fixing deals, and flipping deals. So any real estate investment deal you do, okay, it's going to have an entry point and it's going to have an exit, okay? And generally speaking, from entry to exit summarizes these 5 points. You have to find the deal, right? You have to form it. You got to put it together. You got to fund it. You got to fix it. And you got to flip it. That summarizes a deal. Well, you as an investor, whether you're passive investing or active investing or a little bit of both, you fit into the context of one or maybe all of these 5 points in this process. So here I broke each of these 5 points down because remember, we want to dial in on your persona. We want to dial in on your perfect role so that we can identify with your avatar. What part or what parts of this 5-point process best fit you, that make you who you are, that allows you to operate in your sweet spot. So let's go through each one. Finding deals. It involves marketing. It involves lead generation. It involves sales. And in most cases, it involves closing. So in order to find a deal, you got to be good at marketing. You got to be good at generating leads. You got to know how to sell. You have to have a script. You got to be good at door knocking, cold calling, sending email blasts out, communicating, getting rejected. That's a part of finding deals. Now, remember, an investor can get into real estate and think, you know what, I just want to make money. I just want a return on my investment. Okay, but that doesn't mean you're going to actually succeed if that's what you want to do, because where do you fall into these 5? If you're just an investor and you're like, hey, I just want to make money, well, you might fall into the fund point in that process. And if that is where you fall, then you just need to hone in and dial in on the avatar that makes you who you are, so that you're not wasting time marketing and trying to sell, and you're uncomfortable getting on calls, and you're trying to put things together to get more leads. That's not going to be your thing. So we have the second point is forming. Forming deals ties into the underwriting, okay? Because now once a deal is found, it needs to be underwritten correctly. Somebody has to comp that deal, analyze it. They have to be prepared to raise capital for it. So that's a persona. That's a perfect role that some investors or people who are in real estate investing like to play. And then we have the third point of funding. These are private money lenders, hard money lenders, loan officers. Some investors are loan officers, so they're more familiar with the financial aspects of it. But it's about dialing in on your persona and your perfect role. The fourth point is fixing. So the PM is short for project management. You may be an investor who likes the construction side of it. You're a contractor, you're a manager, you're an operations person. You like that part of the deal. Or the flip part, disposition. You might be a real estate agent. You like the part of making sure the property is being relisted and you're showing it and you're getting tenant buyers in, or whatever the case is. All I'm trying to do in this short video is to help you identify with your persona. Okay? And if you look at these 5 points in an investment deal process, it's easy for you to start identifying with things that not just make you happy or things that you love to do, but things that fit your persona, your personality type, that fit your risk tolerance, that fit your experience and your education and your skill set, or things that fit your interests, your desires. And whatever the thing is, or those things are, even if it's all of them, you just have to dial in on those things to make sure that whatever type of investor as an avatar you're going to be, that you fill in those weak spots and those blank spots that you're going to inevitably have. So let me give you an example. If I had to describe my avatar, okay, as an investor, I'm an all-inclusive, all-in buying investor. So that means I want to do my own thing. I want to control my own deals from entry to exit. Okay. I love to fix and flip deals more than I like to buy and hold deals. I will do some wholesaling if I need today money. But for the most part, I have to control the whole deal. Well, that means I've got to make sure that my business model fits my persona that wants to control all aspects and all points in the process of an investment deal. So that means I've got to understand how to find them, and I've got to have team members and staff to help me with that. I have to understand how to form them. I have to know how to underwrite them and comp them and analyze them. I've got to have team members to help me with that. I've got to know how to fund these deals. I've got to know how to fix them and have people in each step of this process. And I got to know how to flip them, whether I'm fixing and flipping, literally or flipping them through a buy and hold or whatever the exit strategy is, I still have to build my business around that. Now, you just need to identify with where do you fit in when it comes to these 5 points in an investment deal process. Because if you're the type of person that just wants to lend money, then you're going to be the funder. So you're not going to concern yourself with finding, forming, fixing, and flipping unless you just want to know a little bit about how that process looks based on the money that you give. But this should give you somewhat of an outline and an idea on how to identify with your investor avatar. Everybody have their own process that they use and their own way of coming to that conclusion. But I think the more you can dial in on where you are in a typical investment deal, what step or point in that process, or steps or points, because it may be several like me, it just makes it easier for you to know what type of partnerships you need to have, what type of relationships with people you need to have, what type of team members you need to have, and what role you can best play in a deal from the beginning of that deal to the ending of that deal, so that you can minimize your problems and maximize your profits.